That night, that was personal, homie. So that happened with me and dude last night. That was personal, homie. I was street shit, man. So my nigga miss me with all that fan, all that shit. My all you niggas that got opinions, you niggas never even had 50,000 a day in your life.
Is that Chris?
Two, disrespect them, and three, owe a person some money. I don't care who you are, where you at. Owing somebody money is the worst thing you can do because no matter how much you owe them or no matter how well you at in your life, they're gonna always find their way around you. Now, luckily, things didn't get worse than what it could, but at the same time, bro doing too much for the internet, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, bro. He chasing. I'm gonna just be honest. Man, what is good, YouTube? Y'all already know who it is, bro. It's Lucas J here, y'all. Back with another video, man. And today, y'all, we got a crazy and little wild video to talk about. Now, it seems like in today's classroom, y'all, we got Jeezy on the roster. Yes, y'all, we got the Snowman on the roster. And it seems like he got the pause put on him allegedly last night by Rollo affiliate. He allegedly, let me rephrase that, allegedly ran off 50K on him. Now, video started searching of everything that's going on. And they got the internet going crazy a little bit. Now, we're going to talk about it. But before we do real quick, bro, y'all know my little routine, bro. Y'all hit that like button, you feel me? And comment and tap in if you tap in down below, bro, and smash the notification bell. So, for one, you can be notified anytime I drop a video. And also, I can just keep y'all updated on this situation. Now, as I said, man, we got the Snowman on the roster, y'all. We got Jeezy on the roster. And it seems like last night he allegedly got the pause put on him. Now, today, a man that goes by the name of Gold Mouth Famgoon, right? A Rollo affiliate, as y'all see, and a lot of his pictures have been trending all over social media and going viral after he posted these things on his story. Now, he put up a post on his story and said, I just kicked Young Jeezy A, right? And then he went on to follow up and said, when I got out of prison, I gave Jeezy 50K for a business deal. He ran off with the money and never gave me the money back. So here we are with a laughing emoji. And then he also said, just a little cut, showing off him allegedly cutting himself from the little altercation that they had. You feel what I'm saying? Then he went on to say, show me one solid rap nigga and I'll give you 100K. And right after that, he posted, well, not he posted, but right after that, this video started posting, and it was literally the altercation that happened, I'm assuming before they started throwing hands or whatever in the club. As y'all see, you can see Jeezy in the club, whatever, with a blick in his hand. It seems like he was getting into an altercation with a dude, and I think things had started going left. Now, after that, people were kind of going up on bruh, saying he capping. People were saying that, you know, he chasing clout or whatever, and then he lying on the Snowman because y'all know one thing about people on the internet. If you're more popular, people think you're perfect, and they don't believe nothing that another person say because you're more popular. Now, he went on to respond to that also and said, I did 17 years. I came out and ain't asked for no favors. I paid my homie, and he played. So I wanted my money back or shoot me my one. Simple. Y'all argue with yourself. Now, that's actually crazy he said shoot me my one because y'all know that's one thing people don't do down here in America no more, especially when you're down south. When you're in the south, bro, getting into a fight is very rare. You got to have some real stand-up and honorable people around you because one thing about it, bro, people don't fight no more. People quit to up the switch in. There's no point. You feel your best bet is to leave the whole situation alone. And to be honest, the fact that he was even willing to give you a one shows you that he really got a lot of respect for Jesus because a lot of people wouldn't even let it got to that point. They would have instantly tried to take his life because people don't play about their money. Money is not going to be played with, especially when you owe another person. Now, he was getting backlash all on social media, and he went on to make another video and respond to all the critics and everything that was going on. And this is what he had to say.
So that happened with me and dude last night.
But I need some more. Your antics make me warm, cause I just came around to say hello. I just came around to say hello. Hello. Hello, Moto.
Hot and steamy au jus is the king of dips. It enhances the flavor of everything. Roast beef, onions, cheese. I would dip everything in au jus if I could. Everything. Firefighter approved. And if you want some savings, order on the app.
That was personal, homie. That was street shit, man. So my nigga Miss me with all that fan, all that shit, my dog. You niggas that got opinions, you niggas never even had 50,000 a day in your life. You niggas never had 50 bands to even know how I feel for you to run off with your motherfucking 50 band. So nigga, miss me with all that ass shit. Like, oh, he hating on G. Oh, he must be broke. Broke? What nigga, do I look like I'm fucking broke? Let's set the record straight, nigga. Do I look like I'm fucking broke, nigga? Do I look like I'm fucking broke? Huh? Because I'm broke. What the fuck I'm hating on a nigga about? Get your motherfucking, get your nigga pussy. Check this out, man. All that lame shit, my nigga. I'm a real street nigga. You know what it is, man. Any nigga that know me, they know I'm a real street. Know I served 17 in the pen and made it out that bitch without a scar on my face, nigga. Straight up. This is what the fuck we smoking on tonight, nigga.
Now this right here is where he kind of throw me off a little bit and where I kind of get annoyed. Now one thing I'm not saying is that Jesus don't have no money. I don't know. Me personally, I don't know. I wasn't in their life. I could care less. You know what I'm saying? It's not my money, so I don't know. This stuff happen every day, so I don't think Jeezy thinking in the program that it's impossible. I don't think I don't like this. That right. I'm a real street nigga. I do this real street ish, but the first thing you did was come to the internet and tell everybody on social media. Like, I don't be getting that. Like, y'all love, when people love saying, I don't do this internet, I'm a real street nigga, but yet you be on the internet doing internet-ish. Like, you saying you don't do internet-ish while recording yourself on the internet is doing internet-ish. Like, I don't know if y'all know. And I be noticing people say that. The main people that say that are the people that be doing it. Like, y'all have been on a Facebook Live and the female be like, I don't need to do the internet stuff. I don't need to do the internet stuff. But, and they just start running on, like, I don't get it. Like, if you don't do the internet stuff, people deal with it in real life. I don't get what's your whole purpose of going on social media with it. Either you trying to get some clout from it or you're doing the internet. It's like, keep it real. It's okay. The internet is like basically the new way of, get off my clothes. The internet is basically like a new way of revenue. Like, you got to basically get in on the internet to get your money or get your brand out there. So it's marketing. I understand, but don't say like, I don't do the internet stuff when you literally do. You know what I'm saying? But Jeezy has responded. Thank God that Jesus is still living. Jesus shouldn't even be in situations like this. You own to bigger and better things. And I ain't saying money wise, I'm saying mindset wise. You got a whole daughter right here. Like, some stuff just need to be left in the past. And that place she was at definitely like a place where you probably needed security or something. And that's one thing I always say. People love saying, where's security at? What's security at? And then, you feel me? Situation like this happening. But these the same ones that be like, you rap nigga, these securities. Like, rap is a facade. The streets is a facade. Everything is a facade. I'm happy that everybody made it home safe. Shout out to this brother for even willing to throw hands versus banging, you feel me? But one thing about it, Jesus, don't be pulling your weapon out unless you're going to use it. I've always been told, don't pull out a weapon unless you're going to use it because somebody else may, you feel me? That's just how it go. But give me y'all thoughts on the...
Okay, we got the lights in the building. Oh, man, dating screen in the building. Hazy, boy, where you been at? You switched up on me, Hazy. I ain't seen you in a long time, Hazy. My good brother. I ain't seen you in a minute. I'm in here picking up my leash, trying to get my earth together. Let's get into this news.
In checks, that'll be 20% back to taxpayers, 20% to pay down the debt. 60% is left. Who gets that?
When you achieve savings, you can either return it to taxpayers, you can return it to our debtors, or it can be cycled into next year's budget, and then it just lowers the overall baseline for next year. This is all going to be worked on through the reconciliation process with Congress that's going underway right now.
The White House breaking down how government savings will be used. Now, DOJ is proposing that a percentage should go straight to Americans' pockets. And James Fishback is a DOJ advisor. He came up with this idea. That escalated quickly, James. So here was Elon Musk yesterday talking to Hannity about this. Watch.
The overall goal is to try to get $1 trillion out of the deficit. And if the deficit is not brought under control, America will go bankrupt. The massive waste, fraud, and abuse that has been going on, which is leading to a $2 trillion a year deficit. That's what the president was handed on Jan 20th, a $2 trillion deficit. It's insane.
James, sorry, that was on Tuesday, not last night, but the sentiment continues. And a question based on, even on what Stephen Miller was just explaining to Peter Doocy yesterday, the $55 billion in savings that DOJ has found so far, has that money then been transferred back to the Treasury, or is it still at those agencies waiting some sort of assignment from either the president or actually from Congress?
Well, it's somewhere in the ether, Dana, but I think the more important question is that Where is this money going to go when we end up saving it when Doge is all said and done? President Trump is off to a smashing start. What an incredible first month. Now it's time to look at the Doge savings, as our proposal calls out, and send 20% of that right back to the hardworking Americans who sent it to D.C. in the first place, Dana. They didn't send it to Washington, D.C. for it to be spent on a rocky Sesame Street or in a transgender opera in Colombia. They sent it for our roads, our bridges, our healthcare, and our education. That clearly has been lacking. So guess what? Taxpayers are overdue for restitution. They need a refund. And I'm proud that President Trump supports our proposal.
So would, in your idea, and maybe it's not fully fleshed out yet, but would the dividend checks go to people, like all taxpayers, or just to people making a certain amount of money?
It's a great question. So the plan, everyone can read it at mydogedividend.com. The plan is very simple, Dana. We think Doge will save $2 trillion in total. You take 20% of that, that's $400 billion. You divide that by the number of American households that will pay federal income tax this year. That's 79 million. That gets you $5,000 to every American tax-paying household next summer. It'll have President Trump's signature on it, because without him, without his leadership, this would not be possible.
Okay, the New York Times asked this: a Doge dividend. President Trump floated giving taxpayers a piece of any savings that Elon Musk's cost-cutting generates, which could reignite inflation. And I'm no AI expert, but I just checked on Grok. I just asked a question. Would giving these checks possibly lead to more inflation? And Grok says yes. What do you say?
I say no, and here's why, Dana. The first reason is that our economy is in much better shape.
Okay,
the
we
last
getting
time
in
stimulus
here.
checks were indiscriminately
Come on,
sent
man.
out by
What's
President
up, y'all?
Biden.
Hit that
We
like
had a
button.
massive labor
Hold
shortage,
up,
supply
hold
chain
up.
dislocations, and they were sent.
Yes. Back in the building with another podcast vlog. This is Raw Dope Podcast Vlog, and I'm your host, Hand 5000. And in my famous word, and the way I like to greet my audience and show respect to the 4,000 plus people that fuck with me. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, man. Listen, every Sunday I do the weekly report. So it's not specifically about nothing, but we're going to talk about those 9 officers being charged, young Jeezy and Gold Mouth fight. Right now we're talking about the economy, the jobs being fired. We're going to get into ASAP Rocky. We're going to get into ASAP Rocky being found not guilty. God damn it. R. Kelly posted a new jail video. Everything that was going on this week, we talk about it on Sundays. We talk about it. We talk about it on Sundays. You know what I mean? So do me a favor. It's 19 people in the chat. Hey, hit that like button. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. We're going to get busy like the Bunky Dance. You know what I mean? We're going to get a shout out to my man, Bunky Jr. We're going to get busy like the button. By the way, free all the guys behind the G-Wall. Rest in peace to everybody that lost their life. Get well soon to everybody that's sick and fighting. You know what I mean? It's Sunday. It's a start to a good week. The end of the month coming. Them bills due the first of the month. Hey, we got a lot to stress about, but we got a lot to be thankful about. And if you tapping in with me, you truly are appreciated. I'm blessed to have this fan base, 4,700 plus. I love it. On my way to 5K, but I got to get to 4,800 first. So if you just nicely subscribe to my channel. And if you don't, unfamiliar, it's your first time tapping in, Raw Dope stands for the rawest and dopest content on the planet. We have cardinal rights and Miranda rules. No fuck shit, no fake shit, no foolishness. Anything you say can and will be used against you on the internet. So just do me a favor. Like, and then don't be afraid to tell me where you from. You could put your city and your state in there. But like I said, we're thumbing through topics. That's why it's called the weekly report. It's the week, everything that went on in the week. And I do talk back to my audience. I apologize. I'm usually in here at 6:45, 7. You know, it's Sunday. I was tired. Was drinking Friday. Hey, but I'm here. I'm here. So right now we're talking about the economy, which is the most important for everybody in the United States. If you're not in the United States, shout out to you. But everybody in the United States, we took over new leadership. President Trump, Elon Musk, they're doing all these cuts. People are getting fired. They're finding money. They're trying to make put America back in the forefront for us financially. They send all the money that's been taken from taxpayers, they're sending it back. So just listen to what's going on, because we're thumbing through everything. We're thumbing through topics. And like I said, once again, Put your state or your city in there. Don't be afraid to become a member. I'll put the Cash App up there if you want to donate to my channel. I ain't begging. I'm just power hustling. So hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. The first thing is on the chopping board. What's the fight with Gold Mouth and Jeezy? Now we're talking about the economy. We have to spread some education outside of our hip hop, hood, scripper talk, whatever we do. Jay-Z in the building, my man. I'll be Jay-Z. Jay-Z's a billionaire. I don't know if I ever see a Billy, but I'm trying. So let's go, y'all.
I want to buy your house.
Let's go, y'all. Hit that like button, y'all. Come on, 38 people in the chat. Let's get busy. Let's get busy, y'all. Come on. Well, let's go. Like the video. It does. Oh, what was I just? Yeah, there it is. And Charleston White is free too. Oh man, we gonna get sticky.
20% back to
Here we go.
20% to pay down the debt.
And listen, it's almost that 20-minute mark. I'm about to
savings. You can either return to the taxpayers.
put it together. Wake and bake. What up? Khaled. Hello, people. I'm not Jay-Z. My man called himself Khaled. You get a little following over being Khaled. Khaled, one of my favorites. We the best roundup podcasts that go together. Khaled, get at.
Government savings will be used. Now, Doge is proposing that a percentage should go straight to Americans' pockets. And James Fishback is a Doge advisor. He came up with this idea. That escalated quickly, James. So here was Elon Musk yesterday talking to Hannity about this. Watch.
The overall goal is to try to get $1 trillion out of the deficit, and if the deficit is not brought under control,
yeah, DJ Khaled, I'm not fucking with Khaled.
Waste, fraud, and abuse that has been going on, which is leading to a $2 trillion a year deficit. That's what the president was handed on Jan 20th, a $2 trillion deficit. It's insane.
James, sorry, that was on Tuesday, not last night, but the sentiment continues. And a question based on even on what Stephen Miller was just explaining to Peter Ducey yesterday. The $55 billion in savings that Doge has found so far.
Hit that like button, y'all.
Come on,
y'all like this video.
Or is it still at those agencies waiting some sort of assignment from either the president or actually from Congress?
Well, it's somewhere in the ether, Dana, but I think the more important question is that where is this money going to go when we end up saving it when Doge is all said and done? President Trump is off to a smashing start. What an incredible first month. Now it's time to look at the Doge savings as our proposal calls out and send 20% of that right back to the hardworking Americans who sent it to D.C. in the first place, Dana. They didn't send it to Washington, D.C. for it to be spent on a rocky Sesame Street or in a transgender opera in Colombia. They sent it for our roads, our bridges, our healthcare, and our education. That clearly has been lacking. So guess what? Taxpayers are overdue for restitution. They need a refund. And I'm proud that President Trump supports our proposal.
So would, in your idea, and maybe it's not fully fleshed out yet, but would the dividend checks go to people, like all taxpayers, or just to people making a certain amount of money?
It's a great question. So the plan, everyone can read it at mydogedividend.com. The plan is very simple, Dana. We think Doge will save $2 trillion in total. You take 20% of that.
Yeah,
that's
baby.
$400
Like this
billion.
video, y'all.
You
Come on,
divide that
5
by the
people in
number
the
of
chat.
American
Hold
households
up.
that will pay federal income tax. This.
Look, everybody help me. Look. Hit that. Come on, y'all. Matter of fact, I'm going to be my 6th like. That's what I do. I just go to my phone like my own video. Sometimes you got to lead by example. Now, I mean, nobody's going to beat me to the 6th like. Let me like the video. And I know that's just probably my mod squad in there. Let me go like my video. I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to hit that. And look, y'all. Look, y'all. I'm going to go like my own video. See that? See that? It's about to go to 6. I like my own video. I like my own video. Can you add to the likes? All right. So we getting into these the government right now. So that's cool. So let's finish here in this bag. Hit that like button.
Here.
Let's go 7 likes. I respect you.
It gets you $5,000 to every American tax-paying household next summer. It'll have President Trump's signature on it because without him, without his leadership, this would not be possible.
Okay, the New York Times asked this, a Doge dividend. President Trump floated giving taxpayers a piece of any savings that Elon Musk cost-cutting generates, which could reignite inflation. And I'm no AI expert, but I just checked on Grok. I just asked a question. Would giving these checks possibly lead to more inflation? And Grok says yes. What do you say?
I say no, and here's why, Dana. The first reason is that our economy is in much better shape the last time stimulus checks were indiscriminately sent out by President Biden. We had a massive labor shortage, supply chain dislocations, and they were sent out to everybody, not just taxpayers. The second reason is that this money is coming from direct savings. So remember, for every $5 that Doge saves, $1 goes back to hardworking taxpayers. And a poll from 2019 CNBC found that 70% of Americans would use this type of check to pay down debt, which is the opposite of inflationary. It's deflationary. So this is good policy.
So
it's good economics.
That's going to be my last question.
It's good economics.
Do you think that if somebody does ultimately get this check, if they have credit card debt, they should use that extra money that they found, the savings, the money they weren't expecting to get back, and pay down their own debt?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just like
So then
DC
should
should
the
get its
government
house in
do the
order.
same?
Yeah.
The government should do the same, which is why this proposal calls
That's
for the
good.
rest of the money, the other 80%, to narrow the deficit, Dana, and to pay down our national debt. But American taxpayers who have worked hard, they need a break. They need restitution. The biggest part, Dana, though, is we incentivize them to report waste, fraud, and abuse. As President Trump said on Air Force One, report waste, fraud, and abuse, Dana, because guess what? The more Doge saves, the bigger their Doge dividend check is.
Stephen Miller breaking down the expected plan to distribute the funds that have been clawed back by Doge, or at least some of them, as those Doge dollars may soon be headed for your bank account. President Trump floating a plan that would use some of the department's savings to help pay down America's debt and have more go directly to the taxpayers. Let's bring it up.
So basically, they saying Doge is going to knock down the deficit that Americans in, and they said 1% of the Doge is going back to American people. So everybody that filed for taxes here, the household, will receive a $5,000 check because all the taxes that you paying to the federal government, the funds are being misused. So they saying once they collect these funds back, Americans going to eat. You know what I mean? And then once you give everybody a check for $5,000 that pay their taxes, taxpaying people, then they go back and people say, oh shit, I got this check in June, past tax time, July. Okay, let me pay down my credit card bills. Let me start a small business. It gets the economy uproar. You know what I mean? It's only stupid people going to go out here and take the money and spend it on ignorant stuff. $5,000 coming to you because you've been paying for stuff that don't even matter, paying for stuff that you don't want to matter. That is good judgment in that Oval Office financially for the American people and for our government. That is good work. That is great work, man. I mean, in 30 days, the man only been in the office a month. Shout out to President Trump, bro. I'm playing this for y'all. I'm a hip hop head. I smoke weed, hip hop, sell cars, sneaker head. I'm playing this for y'all because it's something for the American people. It's something you need to look into. Your mom, your dad, your significant other, yourself. You're paying for things that we don't care about. And listen, at the first beginning of this, it's educational. Then we'll get to the sticky stuff. But let's go.
Now, former Biden White House Director, Message Planning, Megan Hayes, and GoPac Chairman David.
This type of stuff I watch, and this is what we do on Friday.
On Air Force One, listen here.
Listen, you know what I mean? I listen. I don't vote, right? But it's an old saying. I know what we up against. So fuck logic. Let's go what makes sense. American is struggling. So you get somebody in there to say, I'm not worried about this and that. I'm worried about cleaning up illegal immigration. If you're not here correctly and do things right, just like we have to do, hey, you got to go. If you're here doing things right, paying your taxes, you got your green card, you got your visas, everything's right, welcome to America. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, let me get in the federal government. People are just sitting around on their phones, playing on Facebook and Instagram. We paying all this money to them. Let's get them out of here. 6,000 people, jobs will cut. I don't think that was right. But hey, in business, you have to destroy and rebuild. It looks bad before it looks good. But I'm quite sure those 6,000 people can get another job doing something else. He didn't say that it wouldn't be jobs opening up and government positions wouldn't be available. He said he's cutting those positions. It doesn't make sense to save the American people money. You know what I mean? I'm just speaking game, y'all. I'm just saying everything ain't about hip hop. Sometimes you got to get into this. I do not vote. But any elected official in office, I look at the news, I look at the Bloomberg report, I look at different things. And I say, man, they doing right or they doing wrong. Man doing right.
giving 20% back to the American citizens and 20% down to pay back debt.
40%. Don't know where the other 60 goes, but as Stephen Miller was mentioning a moment ago, the three things you can do: give it back to people, use it to pay down the debt, or put it back into the general fund. Where do you think, Megan, it should go?
I mean, I think if the whole purpose of Doge is to cut the deficit, it should go to the deficit. I think that, one, I think they're going to need to focus on their accounting. One time they said $8 billion and it ends up being less than $8 million that was actually cut for Doge. Also, we should look back to the Bush checks that came out, which took $100 billion to cover for people to get $300 and $600 per household. So there's a lot of money to give people money back that should be going to pay down the deficit if Trump is serious about balancing our budget.
I did a calculation yesterday that if you took the $55 billion that they've clawed back so far and you distributed it among every American, it'd be about $167 per person. To a lot of people, that's real money. But he's saying only 20%. So
well, think about how many guitars you could buy, John, and have jam sessions on X in the afternoons. I mean, what we're really talking about is who should be spending this money. Should we be allowing Americans to invest it or spend it to help pay for everyday living and bring inflationary costs down, or should we allow government and have it be the priority spenders? And what the Trump administration is saying is, let's give it back to Americans. Now, here's the key to all of this. It is also, are we going to also make sure tax increases don't come because we don't continue the tax cuts that happened in the first Trump administration? And if Congress doesn't keep those tax cuts going, every American's going to see a tax increase.
You know, when it comes to guitars, I'm like Phil Graham with guns. More than I want to talk about the plane crashes that have been happening here and in Toronto, because Democrats are pointing the finger of blame at President Trump. Eric Swalwell talking about FAA cuts, saying this to Fox News Digital: Trump is president. President Trump is in charge of air safety. All crashes are Trump's fault, I guess, including the one in a different country. But here's what a guy who actually runs an airline said about the FAA cuts. Listen to Ed Bastian from Delta Airlines here.
After looking at all these mishaps, a lot of people are very nervous. Do these cuts affect you?
The cuts do not affect us, Gail. I understand that the cuts at this time are something that are raising questions, but the reality is there's over 50,000 people that work at the FAA, and the cuts, I understand, were 300 people, and they were in non-critical safety functions.
He runs an airline. One of his aircraft crashed in Toronto the other day. When it comes to this type of criticism, should the Dems just park it?
I just think they need to be really careful with their rhetoric. I think this is really breathless to be saying this. I don't think you can blame a plane crash on the president, whether or not he's making cuts at the FAA or not, and whether those cuts are justified or not, or they're different conversations. This is where I think Democrats need to be very careful. And I do not think you should be instilling fear into people who fly. It is a very safe way to travel. And this is one of those times where this will hit Americans, and they need to understand that their government is on the side of safety, and Democrats are not doing that by fear-mongering.
So Swalwell, who apparently throws around rhetoric without the benefit of fact-checking first, said that there's been more aircraft incidents in Trump's first month than there has been.
Like this video, y'all. If you want to donate to the channel, that's the Cash App right there, or just become a member.
More airplane crashes now in Trump's presidency than under Biden. This is false. Here are the facts. In Biden's first month, there were 57 aviation incidents in the U.S., compared to 35 under Trump. I mean, it's just such talk borders on irresponsible.
It's certainly they don't follow the counsel. If you have nothing good to say nothing at all. Right? They only have bad things.
Well,
they
you
only
don't have
try
the
to
facts
make up
on your
bad
side.
things.
Shut
That's right.
up.
And there is no message coming, a positive message to come out of the Democratic Party right now. So they must continue the rhetoric that they are doing, which is unhelpful to them and ultimately helpful to Trump, because people look at this and say, well, that's silly. Of course the president's not responsible for an air crash that happens in Canada.
Yeah. Let's bring in the media panel. Walk away.
Of course the president is not. You know, it's a lot of things with that. So Charleston White is out of jail. Let's go tap no, I'm at keep it in the G News. Keep it in the G News posted a video about Charleston White. Now everybody know. Now I'm getting to the topics. If you want a topic and got something there, put it in the chat and I do that. Hey, donate. If you donate to the channel, right? If you donate and I see your name pop up and you put something that you want me to look up, I will look up. If you donate to the channel today, any news you give me, I'm rocking out with y'all. Hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. Charleston White home. Shout out to my brother keeping it in the G News.
His bag on the streets like he never left. Every what we want to call White. Charles and the Asian White, y'all, is back on the streets like he never left. And the reason why I say that, y'all, is because this is what I expected. This is what you can always expect from Charleston White. I'm starting to think Tarrant County is in on the play. Because I believe they're Asian, I believe he worked for him, and I believe they're helping him. Now, you know, after you see this next video, I believe they're helping him to keep his name alive because they need him. No, COINTELPRO has
it gets like that. It got to look bad before it looks. Hold up.
Point that this
we
man
pause
is
to Charleston White situation. Listen, in our government, we had different administrations, right? Because I didn't end that politics side yet. In our government, we have different administrations, right? When a new administration comes in, things can't change overnight. You know what I mean? Whether it's good or bad. I say, you know what I mean? Let it play out. Give a fair chance. He in there now. That's the boss. Like if you work on a job, you get a new supervisor or a new boss, they don't really know what you think. They don't know what they're doing. Have to give them a chance and let it work out. That's why he was voting in the office. Let it work out. You feel what I'm saying? One thing for sure and two things for sure. Trump about money. If I understand, he likes to be a man of his word. And the man that want to stand on his word and be about his word, go hard to make things right. Because, you know, that Republican Party ain't for the upsetting and the disappointment. You get what I'm saying? That's the difference. They're not going to be soft on you if you don't do what you say. You got to say what you mean and do what you say. And I don't vote. But like I said, I respect any elected official that get in office and do what they say what they mean and do what they say. I know it ain't but so much they can do, but everything that they do is a plus. Exactly. You say you voted for Trump because you Puerto Rican. Exactly. But we all for that. You know, inflation is up. It's going to go down. Everything's going to go down. Everything's going to get back to normal. You know, I would say some things that I really want to say, but it is what it is.
I don't know.
We're talking about Charleston White now.
We done seen countless videos with Charleston White get caught with firearms that he ain't supposed to have. In one video, police interrogation video, Charleston White told the officer that he don't believe that he even should have to go to gun classes because this is constitutional right.
Okay, we just want to check you and make sure you're okay. That's all. Yeah, Charleston White do get in a lot of shit. See, keep it a GT. Charleston White do get in a lot of shit.
When I told him he pulled in. They said they were coming with a gun. They said, but that's what they showed me where they said they were coming with guns. Because everything I see is that they showed up with a pastor. They did show up with that they were trying to
hit that like button, y'all.
Going on. They showed up with 7 people. Come on, wait a minute. I know this guy's showing up for trouble. So I'm not taking no chances, bro. So I'd rather take my chance with a jewelry and say, hey man, I was defending myself. No, I got you. I understand that. That might be something that's very valid for you to say. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. I understand, man. What you said on your video is contradicting what you're saying right now. Well, what I'm saying on the video is what I'm saying now. I wanted the gun in him because I was afraid. Y'all coming down here to bring trouble. And y'all came with guns. But that's not what you said on the video. Well, wow. And I might try to figure out a way to get the video there so we can watch it and go through it. Man, we ain't got to keep watching it. Don't give me the sales right now. Yeah, why don't you want to watch the video? Well, this is what I'm saying. Okay, look, as long as you know the video, look, Pastor walking over here to me said.
Yeah, boy, Charleston White, vicious.
That claims he's never been to an adult penitentiary. So what's really going on? Because we got a slew of adult charges. But just recently, Charleston White was arrested for aggravated assault. Some say it was on a hustle cartel or the hustle gang goofy. But I don't know what the truth is, but I know his name was on the website. Pull it up at that time, man. Now he's home and he didn't miss a beat. Check him out.
Hey, Charleston White fucked up, boy. Shit. Charleston White's crazy, bro.
Why the rest?
Hey guys,
Charleston White's crazy. Let's see what's up with Charleston. Charleston's crazy. He's home after the charge. He spray painted. He made somebody. He came home. That's what it is. Charleston's free. But I know everybody talking about them Philly boys. Yo, them kids from Philadelphia. Let's get into that. Yo, them kids from Philadelphia, like 30 murders or something.
Now, another news tonight.
Yeah, that joint.
Now, another news tonight. The Philly District Attorney's Office is saying that they have arrested members of 3 different gangs that were at war with each other in the streets of Philadelphia. Investigators say they were involved in 12 incidents across the city and responsible for 31 victims. CBS Philadelphia's Kerry Correctional reports on how police tracked them down.
The DA's office calling this a major bust. Investigators identified 12 members of 3 groups based in South Philadelphia.
These groups are the Senders, the Clappers, and the Close Range Gang.
Investigators say they were all involved in 16 different incidents across South Philadelphia from April of 2021 to May of 2023. 12 of them were non-fatal shootings, 2 gunpoint carjackings, 1 stolen car, and 1 homicide. CBS News Philadelphia was at one of the shootings on Rittner Street in January of 2022, where police say 3 men were shot and in stable condition. Detectives say the gangs see it all as a game.
On social media, they compare it to a basketball game. And how that works is for every shooting victim, they say they have a point.
Investigators say the groups would retaliate against each other.
These are kids. These are young people doing horrific things.
Good God Almighty, sure.
This is their idea of a good idea.
The shooters are getting younger. The shootings are no longer just neighborhood based. And the guns that they're using are from the illicit gun trade.
Officers use ballistic evidence, cellular data, witness statements, and social media to track them all down.
The Senders and the others in this case were so public about their actions and so willing to brag about them, to be specific about them, to name their victim in one way or another.
Police say of the 12 members that they identified, all have been arrested but 1. Outside of police headquarters, Kerry Corrado, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Dang, that's vicious. Damn, I know some more information because everybody been talking about that. People been hitting me up like, "Yo, what's up with that Philly shit?" I say, "God Almighty, let's do that." Yeah, here it is.
Most people.
Here it is. That Philly thing, they going crazy out Philly. What? Yeah, don't play with me, yo. I don't even feel like playing with trolls.
All the details at 5:30 about details of 3 rival groups accused of wreaking havoc around the city, especially in South Philadelphia. The district attorney's office says the crimes included innocent children being shot, carjackings, and 1 homicide. A large number of the shootings, according to investigators, were back and forth retaliations between these 3 gangs. Action News reporter John Paul live for us now at the DA's office with more of this extensive grand jury investigation, John.
Yeah, Shar, officials here are calling this one of the biggest criminal takedowns in city history. We're talking 12 suspects, 31 victims, and 1 16-year-old who they say is still on the run tonight.
These are kids. These are young people doing horrific things.
Tonight, investigators revealed a slew of arrests in a bloody gang war that dates back to 2021. 12 suspects ranging in age from 16 to 21, alleged members of 3 separate gangs. Police connected them to 1 murder and more than 24 shooting victims across Philadelphia. That includes this shooting on Norris Street in Strawberry Mansion in February of 2023. 7 people were shot. The youngest victim was just 2 years old.
It's almost just stunning to talk about so many people in their teens
involving themselves in this, bragging about this.
Tonight, police are still looking for one suspect. This is 16-year-old Javon Solomon. He's wanted in connection with this shooting in 2023 on Jackson Street. Police say the 12 suspects were part of criminal gangs that targeted each other. When asked why, one detective said the suspects saw the whole thing as a game.
On social media, they compare it to a basketball game. And how that works is for every shooting victim, they say they have a point.
The arrests announced today mark one of the largest criminal takedowns in the city. 12 suspects and 31 victims. A bulk of these crimes happening in 2021 and 22.
They were two of our most violent years for murders and non-fatal shootings. One of the things I want to stress is those cases are not done. We never end those cases.
Now, another interesting part of this is the bail that's been set for one suspect. He got no bail. And another bail was set as high as $12.5 million. Live tonight in Center City. John Paul, Channel 6 Action News. Shari?
Them boys going to war. What y'all think about that, man? Anybody from Philly in here? My Philly people had to tell me what's going on. You know what I mean? Where my Philly people had to tell me what's going on. Philly. Good God Almighty. That shit deep right there, bro. That's deep right there. What else we got? The Stu Luigi. So the dude that shot the United Healthcare CEO, Luigi, he got a whole big fan base. Like, bro raised up $500,000 for his lawyer fees. You know what I mean? $500,000 for his lawyer fees. That's here what Cho talking about. You know what I mean? Strapping up through the week. Let's get that.
When you caramel?
Let's get that. This is Luigi. Right here, if y'all don't know, that's the guy that's from Baltimore for real. Went to Gilman, graduated from Gilman, went up New York, and he shot the healthcare provider over, something that happened with his mother, where healthcare wasn't, doing something, and he has a lot of people supporting him. The boy raised over $500,000 plus for his lawyer fees. He's getting duffel bags of mail, people coming to court supporting him, rallying behind him. They saying his case is similar to the OJ case. He stands a possibility of being acquitted.
Into the conversation, our friend there, legal analyst Nicole DeBoer, she was watching that alongside me offline, and she joins me now live online. Nicole, good to see you here. There was a lot in there, and we want to break it down all with you. And first up, though, it seems like, according to his lead defense counsel, the logistical challenges, not only from the defense, but the prosecution, that they are going to face carrying this out once a trial date is set. A trial date has not been set, though. Multiple jurisdictions, state and federal court in New York, state court in Pennsylvania. How do you even keep that straight if you're representing a client?
Well, it is incredibly difficult, and it's important to keep it compartmentalized because it's important for the defense team to understand who is giving what evidence to them. Oftentimes, when you have these quote-unquote parallel prosecutions, you'll have one team of prosecutors releasing information that is in some way different from what another team of prosecutors is releasing in a parallel proceeding. And it can be very frustrating. And what the defense team will have to do is stay very organized so that they can complain, if they need to the correct judge about what prosecution team has failed to turn over the necessary evidence, and so they can keep it straight. Sometimes, additionally, evidence is turned over under a protective order, and this requires that the defense team keep what they're receiving compartmentalized. It can also be very difficult to sift through evidence that they're receiving in that way.
All right, you see that photo right there. He's shackled in court. Karen Agafilo really took issue with that. The judge wasn't going to budge on that very question. She was asking, can my client be unshackled in court while he makes these appearances? Help us walk through a decision a judge makes like that. Why wouldn't he unshackle Mangione? He deemed that Mangione was dangerous. Is that sufficient?
It really isn't, and certainly there may be things that we just don't know that are happening in the background, but from what we can see in court and what we can hear in the public proceedings, there doesn't appear to be any specific reason. People go to courtrooms for proceedings and who are brought out from being in custody to participate without all of really what is almost like a circus in the circumstance. And there really is a problem from a constitutional perspective when someone is paraded through the courtroom with lots of people appearing to need to be there for security purposes to keep somehow someone in the public safe from this individual who is already in custody. It's difficult to really try to say that this person sitting here at the table surrounded by all kinds of security and shackled hand and foot is presumed innocent under the law. You're certainly telegraphing a presumption they did something to treat them that way in the first place.
I see. Okay, let's go over some more of Nafeelo's claims there that we just heard from. She is claiming his constitutional rights were violated. Are you sensing that that's the gist of some of their arguments that are forming in real time? That the search and seizure done at that McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, when he was apprehended, was not done above board. Remember, a weapon was obtained at the time on Mangione's person, I believe in his backpack. A laptop was in his backpack, and also currency, dollars, other foreign currency was obtained as well. It seemed like Nafeelo was moving there, saying that that was not done properly. How much of a heavy lift is that argument going to be?
Well, I think it's one that the defense team most certainly needs to pay very careful attention to, and it sounds like she's doing exactly that. Really, just because a person is arrested it does not mean that law enforcement has the right to go through technical information on a computer or information that's contained data in that computer or phone. They may not, under certain circumstances, even be able to go into certain containers or backpacks, especially once a backpack or a bag has been removed from the defendant's or the accused's possession. So these are issues that a good defense lawyer, and certainly this lawyer appears to be doing everything she needs to be doing to analyze these issues, will pay close attention to. Did law enforcement follow the rules when they seized these items and investigated them further?
So this is my view here. I'm going to offer it. I'm going to see whether you agree with it.
That boy scrapping up the fight, Luigi Mangione scrapping up the fight of a murder that they got top evidence. They saying that this situation with him probably is going to be like the O.J. Simpson case. If they can prove his lawyer is going to the United Health kid was, getting over on people, burning people with Georgia with this insanity plea, they got a whole thing planned out. But this prosecutor's going for the death penalty. And like I said, again, he raised $500,000 and this and that. And he did this and that. Man, come on, man. This is what it is when you got proper representation. They saying illegal search warrants. They advocating all of this stuff. This is going to be a huge case, and it's federal, so not too many people going to be in a courtroom. You got to write it down. I don't think you can have recorders, but I don't think you can have cameras in the courtroom. It's going to be a big case when this all folds out. You know what I mean?
Because another claim that she made there was that the court of public opinion has already declared Luigi Mangione guilty. Now, how do you square that with the legions of fans that he has who claim that what he did, allegedly murder Brian Thompson in the broad morning daylight in Midtown Manhattan, that for whatever reason, they see that as some type of positive societal good here? Is there some cognitive dissonance going on with Karen Agnifilo saying, everyone already thinks he's guilty, and she was speaking not too far from his legion of fans and supporters there who are rallying behind him? Do you think that's cognitive dissonance? Do you think he has been kind of made guilty in the court of public opinion already?
It's a great question. I think you could ask yourself, if you see someone being paraded down the street, maybe not even in the courtroom, surrounded by police officers, shackled hand and foot, the first question you're going to be asking yourself is, what did that person do? And this is how this accused individual is being treated in a courtroom. It certainly makes a person who's watching all of this spectacle think, they're guilty of something, or they wouldn't be handled in this fashion. And so these are very real concerns that the defense team must address early on, and they're going to have to be dealing with it right down to the day they pick a jury to hear this case.
I mean, that's the point here. I mean, before he allegedly did this, and we showed our viewers that surveillance video at the time on that day in early December, no one knew who Luigi Mangione was. And now the whole world knows who he is, so much so that he's raised hundreds of thousands of dollars in some type of GoFundMe account for his legal defense. And he also put out a statement. He's communicating with the public as well. I want to get your thoughts on that. He said this on his website: "I'm overwhelmed by and grateful for everyone who has written me to share their stories and express their support." He says, "Powerfully, this support has transcended political, racial, and even class divisions." And correct me if I'm wrong here, defendants and even murder cases have First Amendment rights here. But if you were his client, if you were representing him, would you be telling him to talk like that?
Well, it appears to me that these are very carefully planned statements that are being released in writing. And there's a big difference between that and someone who is speaking freely, either while they're out on bail. And in this case, the person speaking is speaking from in custody. It's a fairly controlled statement. In this circumstance, it seems to be innocuous enough. He's certainly in a position to be able to say, without disclosing information about his defense, that he appreciates all of the people who continue to lend their support. And in this case, even financial support to the defense.
And let's talk about that high profile nature of this defendant now that he is so well known here. You already intimated that that could present problems when a jury has to be selected here. But would the defense be concerned that the judge, say in the case, might make an example out of him?
Sure. I mean, a case that has so much emotion before they even start a proceeding brings so many challenges in selecting a jury. You're really looking for people who can say that they can hear the facts and the evidence as laid out in the courtroom and not consider the baggage that they bring with them from exposure to information outside the courtroom, which really makes the defense lawyer's point about this potential suppression of evidence a huge consideration, where people from the law enforcement team or even city government officials going on to a documentary and making comments about evidence which has never even been disclosed to the defense team. It's really pretty out of the ordinary and dangerous.
On the flip side of that, I want to just get the prosecution's perspective here. To your point, because it is so high profile, that means you have to be even more careful and check all of your boxes so you don't inadvertently, because of the high profile nature of the case, make an unforced error, right?
That's completely true. And the prosecution has the responsibility to seek justice, right? They're supposed to go in there and without trying to gin up emotion around a certain offense, which in this case, you might say law enforcement going in, surrounding some accused person who hasn't been convicted of anything could certainly be designed to create this emotional circumstance. The prosecution has to be very careful not to do that. That is not their role. And they're also going to have to be really careful.
Hold up! Wait a minute. Don Frank said, please take Biggie down. Put the real Biggie from Mississippi up there. P. Diddy stole that whole style. Brother, my good brother. I heard that story. Yes. And it's factual. I thought that was a song or something. But Biggie, the one thing that he didn't take from Mississippi Biggie was, I got 7 Mac 11s, about 8 38s, 9 10 Mac 10s. The shit never ends. You can't touch my riches, even if you had MC Hammer and them 357 bitches. Biggie Small, the millionaire, the mansion, the yacht, the 2 weed spots, the 2 hot Glocks. That's how I got the weed spot. I shot dread in the head, took the bread and the lamb spread. Little Gotti got the shotty to your body and don't resist or you might miss Christmas. I tote guns, I make number runs. I give MCs the run dripping. When I throw the clip in the AK, I slow the way. Everybody hit the DECK. My flow so remarkable. Peace to Mateo. Now he smoke weed like Tony Montana sniffing yayo. That's crazy blunts. He ain't mimicked that. Now that's straight freestyle of Biggie. Know what I mean? Biggie, that's a freestyle. That's a freestyle, homie. That's just a freestyle that I remember. You know what I mean? The doctor said I need about 3 weeks of recovery, but the nurses is loving me, saying the best part of the day is my half, feeding me breakfast and giving me a sponge bath. Nigga said I died dead in the streets. Nigga, I'm getting high, getting head on the beach, chilling, sitting on about $500,000 with all my niggas, all my guns, all my women. Next 2 years, I should see about $1 billion, all for the love of drug dealing. Got no love for the other side tricks. Any repercussions, Junior Mafia spit clips. Come on, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. He ain't take that from that boy. I know how it feels to wake up fucked up. Pockets broke as hell, another rock to sell. People look at you like you's the users, selling drugs to all the losers, mad Buddha abusers. But they don't know about the stress-filled days. Baby on the way, mad bills to pay. That's why we drink Tanqueray, so we can reminisce and wish we wasn't living so devilish. Shit, I remember I was just like you, smoking blunts with my crew, flipping old 62, because GED went BIG, I got PAID. That's why my moms hate me. She was forced to kick me out, no doubt. Then I figured out Knicks went for 20s down south. Nah, man. Mississippi, no, sir. You know what I mean? You know that song already took Juicy from him. You know what I mean? I heard Juicy, you know what I mean? But the real big, I could never take him down, bro. I could never take him down, bro. You know what I mean? Man, they was all the right lyrics. I already got some words wrong. Songs came out almost 30 years ago. Come on, man. You put the lyrics in there. Like, stop it. I sung different songs, but they didn't become known for that style. Yeah, he became known to that style for me. You know what I mean? I don't want to get off topic, but he became known for that style for me. You know what I mean? He be known for that style for me. Juicy was the song that they said that he got from the Mississippi dude. He didn't get his style. Biggie couldn't get his style from Mississippi. He come from Brooklyn. You know what I mean? He come from Brooklyn. No, for real, he come from Brooklyn. He come from Brooklyn, New York. You know what I mean? He come from where hip hop, you know what I'm saying? The birthplace, the Bronx, where hip hop was born at. And he come from New York in the 90s. You know what I mean? Rapping in the early 90s, the end of the 80s. Nah, you can't mimic that, man. I can't. You gotta let the legend live. What's Cap? What's Cap? What's Cap? From the ground up. What's Cap Entertainment? You know what I mean? What's Cap, bro? You know what I'm saying? What's Cap? Man to man. What's Cap? What's Cap? What's Cap? You gotta tell me what's Cap. Look it up now. Donate to the channel and I'll look it up. Cash App right there. Donate to the channel. But from the ground up. Now you got me on now. What's up? What you mean what's Cap? Hip hop my thing. Hip hop my thing. My thing for real. What's Cap? You know what I mean? Everybody want to know. Everybody put in there. Tag him in there right now. What's Cap? What's Cap? You talking to the right one when it comes to hip hop. What's Cap? What's Cap? What's Cap? What's Cap? Come on, bro. What's Cap? Tell me what's Cap. Anything I said is Cap. Tell me anything I said is Cap. Man to what, Brian? Man to man. What's up? What's funny? Another one, Brian. What's funny? Man to man, what? You want me to say dick to dick? What's up? He said I was rapping some Biggie stuff. Don Frank, you said Mississippi Biggie. Inform me on him. Yeah, let's talk about it. That's what I like about my channel. We could get busy. We'll get to them topics like our time. It's Sunday. It's Sunday. You know what I mean? What? Let's go. Let's go with a Cap at. And what's funny? That's what I want to know. What's funny and what a Cap at? What you talking about? What a cap at? Which I checked in. What's funny, Brian? And yo, what's up? What you checking in? What's funny? Just want to know what's funny. I said, man to man, what's funny? What's funny? I know he just talking, but I'm just saying, what's funny? That's when we take time out and we speak to you like a man. All right. Back to the
As
topic.
they ultimately move forward with trial to find jurors that don't have their mind made up about why an act took place in the first place.
Yeah, this is just such a fascinating case, but tragic nonetheless. And it just happened in December, and so it's very fresh on so many people's minds here. Anything else you'll be watching for as this case proceeds? I'll be looking for whether a trial date can be set. It seems like a lot of logistical hurdles right now.
I'm very interested to see how quickly the federal government.
See, that was about Luigi Manoli, you know, man. And we'll get to the other topic. So we covered Gold Mouth and Jeezy fighting in the beginning. We covered what the government got going on. Then we jumped to Luigi Manoli. To summarize that, the government got a lot of things in play. We got to let it play out. Luigi, he's a star. I think he's going to get the death penalty. But, you know, a lot of people was around him. They compared it to OJ case. And Gold Mouth and Jeezy shot the fade. So now, let's go. Now, it don't matter about age, right? What do you want to ask me with my hands being clear, hands free, about hip-hop? Since you've been around since hip-hop been here, you know what I mean? Talk to me. Hip-hop is your thing. How old are you? If you don't mind me asking respectfully, that's cool. Because I've been here since CE, the first hip-hop song was released. Well, the first hip-hop song was released in 73. Or the first official album was in 79, right? You know? Let's do some history. Wayne? Rap is the Light, first hip-hop album, 1979, right? Right? So anybody born in 70, 78 on down, as they had Cool Herc and them come up out the, you know, the late 60s, early 70s. So when did that first hip-hop album drop? I thought it was between 73. The hip-hop album that everybody knows is Rap is the Light in 79. Because I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Before we go to Google, because you got the option to go to Google. See, I'm speaking out the medulla. You can go to Google. Before I go to Google, you tell us in the chat. That you 81, that's your era too. You know what I mean? That's when you was born, man. Like all of us. Keeping it in the G News. What up, bro? We just played your joint. We just played a clip from your channel on Charleston White. Yeah, that's another thing we talked about Charleston White. I dropped a link that tell me that ain't big. What a link at? What a link at? What a link at? What a link at? Like this video, y'all. What a link at? Mississippi rapper who Puffy stole Biggie style from. That's it. It's easy as Google. Bro adamant about this man stole Biggie stole this man's style.
A lot of you. So I know this thing is going viral because there's a lot of people reaching out to me. Because somebody said you the Notorious Big. Notorious Big, man. That's your name, the Notorious. So he the one named him the Notorious B.I.G.
So dude name was the Notorious B.I.G. Yo, what?
Name Notorious B.I.G. Notorious Big. That was it. You the Notorious Big. So that was it. Biggie chose to abbreviate the name, put the B.I.G. like that, the Notorious Big, and put the periods in there.
Yo. Biggie name was after his name's Christopher Wallace, right? And he took the name Biggie Smalls after old school name for one. For 2, Notorious B.I.G. If yo was calling this something, Notorious B.I.G. He's from Mississippi. The dude's from New York. Puffy's a producer. He's seen it. It's more one. It's one baby. It's one. It's more little Wayne, little Yachty, little Baby, little Chris, little Mike, little Jay. What the fuck, bro? We know the man is Biggie Smalls, Frank White, Notorious B.I.G. Like, well, he got different names. They got different names. Oh, you went down there and seen the dude down in Mississippi. He had the name Notorious. He grabbed it. Okay. What's the point? Bad Bubba just died, who turned a $10 million estate to worth $138 million, and you talking about something from 30 years ago? You want a picture taken down on a wall of a great black man? You got a picture of the other Notorious B.I.? Because that's what it say on here. His name was Notorious B.I. I don't like that, bro. I don't like that, referee. I ain't knocking you, man. You know you representing your set, but come on, bro. That's how we gonna do history. So I guess it stopped him from making it big. That's the song. The song that dude made. That's what we sang. Juicy was the song that he made. That was it. But he couldn't have Biggie style. He couldn't have the same style, bro. It's impossible. I'm gonna hear it. I'm listening. His name was Big Daddy, for one. And then he made a record. His name was Notorious.
I want to thank you all for your
His
time.
name Notorious B1.
About your time, none of this is possible. But this falls on the head of John Puffy Combs.
His name is Notorious B1. Your name was Biggie Smalls, so he called him Notorious Big. Like, what the fuck?
Puffy knew. He knew all about what he was doing.
That man, the estate worth $161 million. What do you want for the dead man? What do you want from him, bro? Like, come on, bro. Y'all big man told me to take my picture down. The late great Biggie Smalls, one of my favorite rappers. If that dude was that nice, we never heard of him. He might be a Mississippi legend. You feel me? We ain't get down with Boosie till my man went to college in Mississippi and came back with Boosie tapes. You know what I mean? We heard the conspiracy theory, but it was just supposed to be juicy. I said that before we looked up anything. It was just supposed to be juicy. Biggie made better songs, like Hypnotized. He didn't steal that from him. Get Money with Lil' Kim, he didn't steal that from him. Everybody know Biggie Small pen was vicious. That's what I'm saying. You saying, what did he steal? The nigga could rap. He was nice. He got with a producer. He got with a businessman. He steal his whole style. How, bro? How? I can't believe that, bro. I can't believe that. Okay, every Southern rapper had to get approved by Mississippi. I'm not from the deep South, so I don't know. But outside of David Banner, who came out of Mississippi? I'm a hip hop head. Outside of David Banner, what was the biggest artist in Mississippi that the world knew about outside of David Banner? Outside of David Banner, who's if it's not no younger artist coming up now, outside of David Banner, who else was Mississippi known for? I'm asking you. I'm gonna Google it. Let's go. I mean, you want to talk hip hop? My God. Mississippi famous rappers.
Rappers frequently mentioned on the web include
Okay.
David Banner, Big KRIT, Corey Jackson, and others.
Okay, now here it is. This who came out of Mississippi. David Banner, Big KRIT, Corey Jackson, Sway Lee, Slim Jimmy, Triumph, Superstar Pride, Bobo Sway, Peepler, Ray J. No, Ray J. Mississippi. Well, he probably was born in Mississippi. But the people that we know is Sway Lee and Slim and David Banner. That's it. That's it. All the boys represent No Flex Zone. That was in Mississippi. I'm a hip hop head, bro. That was in Mississippi. The boys never denied they was from Mississippi. I just forgot. David Banner ain't never act like he went from Mississippi. And Big KRT never act like he went from Mississippi. Rick Ross was born in Mississippi, true indeed, and grew up in Florida. But I'm saying people that's representing Mississippi. Soulja Boy don't rap, yo, bro. Google ain't gonna lie, bro. Soulja Boy, they don't even pop up for Mississippi. Come on, y'all. You know what I mean? Yo, so, bro, let's Google it. You know what? I'm gonna start making a morning session. Google it. Where was rapper Soulja Boy born? Soulja Boy was born in Chicago, bro. Where y'all getting y'all stuff from? Soulja Boy was born in Chicago. Where did Soulja Boy grow up at? Okay. Soulja Boy was born in Chicago, grew up in Atlanta and Batesville, Mississippi. He was raised, he was born, though, to say he grew up back and forth from Mississippi to Georgia, but he was born in Chicago. The first thing is say Chicago, Atlanta, and Batesville, Mississippi. What state was Soulja Boy living in when he broke out? He was living in Atlanta when he broke out as a rapper. But they say in Mississippi, the young entertainer found all various connections to pursue a music career seriously, including the aid of his father, who provided a recording studio. He's not from Mississippi. You know what I mean? He's not from Mississippi. He was born in Chicago, grew up in Atlanta. His father lived in Mississippi. So Mississippi could take some credibility to that. But the people from Mississippi, it's them boys Sway Lee and that other kid, David Banner and KRT. That's represent Mississippi. It don't even say nothing about the dude y'all talking about on Google. Except for the Bixie incident. Like, come on, man. Mississippi platinum recorded artist. Yeah, man. Bo Diddley, Robert Johnson, Howard. So y'all got some country dudes from down there. Ray Sherman is a hip hop duo from Mississippi that put platinum status. Mike Will made it, yeah. You know what I mean? They them big boys out of Ray Sherman. They them big boys out of Mississippi. He can't play about that. They them big boys out of Mississippi. Real shit. Real shit. Shout out to Mississippi, though. Let's get back to the next thing. Shout out to Mississippi.
How important is it for us to...
Luigi, let's see about them non-correctional officers. So y'all know 9 correctional officers was charged for Robert Brooks' murder. So that's cool. That was a blessing. That's news that we report.
U.S. Meanwhile, the prison
I'll
inmate.
play this.
U.S., meanwhile, the prison inmate brought to a new prison in upstate New York. Authorities say within half an hour of arriving there, the inmate was clinically dead. Tonight, hear the disturbing police video, and now 9 former corrections officers are charged. Here's Stephanie Ramos.
Tonight, multiple corrections officers seen in this disturbing body camera video beating Robert Brooks at a New York State prison, now charged in his death. Brooks had just been transferred to the Marcy Correctional Facility near Utica.
About a half an hour later, he was clinically dead.
6 former officers charged with murder, all 6 plus 3 others charged with manslaughter. Last December, the officers seen choking, punching, and kicking the 43-year-old in the face, torso, and genitals.
I think any sentient human being looking at the tapes naturally comes to the conclusion that he must have said something. He must have spit at the officers. He must have resisted in some way. And the fact of the matter is, he did absolutely nothing.
An autopsy finding Brooks died from homicide caused by asphyxia due to neck compression and multiple blunt force injuries. Tonight, Brooks's family calling the charges a step toward accountability.
These men murdered my father. It was on video. These men need to be prosecuted and convicted of the crimes they made.
Brooks had been serving a 12-year prison sentence for assault. All of the charged officers pled not guilty, and some have been released on bond. David.
Stephanie Ramos with us here. Steph, thank you.
Yeah, I've been covering that story for a while. They was all charged, and some of them was giving bails. And I know all them officers gonna make bails. Their city gonna help them, but when they go in that New York correctional facility, they gonna have to be on PC. You know what I mean? They gonna have to be on PC. And yo, it was so serious in court, y'all. I play a little bit from court that them people so rude up in New York. You know what I mean? They was in there saying, man, racist white boys. They was saying all types of stuff in court. You know what I mean? They was going crazy. Listen to it. Let's try to listen to some of it.
Here is here for you.
Yeah, they was going crazy, and they should have been chatting. What happened to Charleston? Charleston White assaulted somebody with the pepper spray, went to jail and got out. Ain't nothing new. Charleston White got a brand Louis Vuitton little drone on. You know what I mean? Back normal. Got his check and he back out.
Good afternoon. I'm Jeff Kulikowski. Christie is off. Breaking news from Oneida County Court. Several prison employees in court today formally charged in connection to the beating and later death of Robert Brooks in December.
That was fucked up. I mean, that was my first big story I covered.
The beating of Brooks caught on multiple body cameras at the facility in December. Out of the people involved,
disgusting.
6 officers charged with murder, 2 others, and 1 sergeant charged with manslaughter. Brooks' family calling for justice, filing a lawsuit against the state and the officers involved. Governor Kathy Hochul putting out a statement today saying the perpetrators were, quote, rightfully charged with murder. She also said she moved to terminate those involved. We have crews who are inside the courtroom. We will have team coverage for you from them beginning at 5 o'clock. Let's go live now to Oneida County Court, where a member of Robert Brooks' family.
His son.
It was on video. The whole world got to see it. Waiting for these charges have been extremely hard, but these men need to be prosecuted and convicted of the crimes they made.
Yes, they do.
But even these convictions are not enough. Any person with authority who allows abuse and violence to go on for so long also needs to be held accountable.
Yeah, I agree with Shorty on that.
And my family pledges to not stop until we see change into how our state prisons are operated. And that this
round of applause for that, man. Yeah, that was fucked up what they did to Robert Brooks.
My father's death will not be in vain.
Yeah.
Justice for Robert Brooks. Thank you.
Justice for Robert Brooks. I ain't gonna lie, what they did to Robert Brooks wasn't right, bro. If your family went through that, you ain't, man, I seen that. I couldn't believe it. And it took them so long to charge him. Like, man, what the fuck did y'all to be playing games and taking weeks and months to charge some people, man? They brutalized that brother. Y'all could just go look it up. Look it up, man. Look it up, man. You can Google that. Robert Brooks, New York correctional officers. They was putting their boots on him, choking him out, treating him like a rag doll, bro. I should put tears in my eyes, bro, because it hurt. Like, bro, and then the prosecutor said, yo ain't spit on him, yo ain't do nothing. They were just having a bad day, probably said something to him. And they just did that, bro. Like, I just don't feel like no plea deals can be struck or nothing. But, I mean, it's upstate New York, and it's not too far from Canada. Y'all know what's going on. You know, it's like I got New York homeboys that say it's for real up there, bro. One of them dudes like the Jolly Green Giant. That's how big he was. He was kicking that man, bro. No, they broke his ribs. You know what I'm saying? And then at the bail review, you know how you go to bail review and they read your charges. They waive the rights to have the charges read in court because it might have made somebody jump up. And you know, Robert Brooks' family and supporters was in court, and they was letting the people know how they feel. What they did was cold-blooded murder. That's what they did. Them 9 correctional officers and the one dude that was sitting there just looking, they was out of order, bro. They was out of order. Now the correctional officers are on strike in New York. They on strike in New York, and dudes is going crazy in there. You damn right they on strike. They saying, man, they in New York to pass laws. They can't use lockup, brutality. They can't do certain stuff. Them dudes shook now. Dudes ain't even having that now, and it's out of order. You know what I mean? It's out of order. It's really bad, bro. It's 100% bad, bro. But if y'all just tapping in, please hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. If you want to, donate to the channel. I appreciate it. If not, cool. But double tap the screen. Double tap the screen. 102 people in the chat. Let's get busy like the Bunky dance, man. Let's go. Shout out to Keeping It the G News. Make sure y'all go follow my brother, man. Keeping It the G News, man. The dictionary, man. The old Cyrus of this shit, man. I mean, the research came. That's the clip I was playing earlier on the Charleston White from my brother Keeping It the G News. You go tap in this channel because I'm quite sure he dug in the crates. So now with the National Guard being deployed to the New York prison, New York got 42 prisons. It's 42 prisons in the state of New York. Prisons, not detention centers. 42 prisons. So it's 42 different places they can send you in New York. That's vicious. But it's going to be like that because the city got over millions of people that live there. But the correctional officers are on strike. And I reported about this early in the week, but I told you Sunday I just talk about everything throughout the week, open topic. So the governor deployed the military out there because them boys walking off the job. And then it's crazy because when you walk off the job in New York, you sign some type of oath that you can be charged. Them picking and they ain't showing their faces. They ain't doing that because if you walk off the job and do that shit, bro, you could be in jeopardy. Like, because they see you putting other officers in jeopardy.
So we don't care.
And inmates apparently taking advantage. Hundreds taking over the dorms at one facility for hours. Officers retreating as an emergency.
Boys took over the dorm. Was called to man, it's our dorm today.
The governor already calling in the National Guard for help staffing the prisons. The striking officers.
They probably treating them boys horrible.
And want changes to a law that
they do make them boys work 24 hours.
Staffing shortages have worsened across the country since the pandemic. The Bureau of Prison staffing shortfall was estimated around 40% last year. Shortfalls at some prisons in Georgia estimated around 70% and around 50% in Oklahoma. But officers say bringing in the National Guard is not the answer.
They don't know the do's and don'ts inside the walls.
Sure.
It'd be no different than some of us getting sent to do the National Guard's job. It's not going to work.
Meanwhile, 9 officers at one of the New York prisons now facing charges in connection with the death of inmate Robert Brooks. In this disturbing video,
gotta bring the National Guard to handle them boys.
Beating Brooks last year.
About a half an hour later.
Yes, it was, man. Yes, it was.
6 former officers are now charged with murder. 3 others, manslaughter.
I think
especially that one that was kicking them, bro, and choking them. Then they were trying to stuff them. Bro, they just did them dirty, bro. What the fuck is funny, bro? What's funny? Hold up.
He did absolutely nothing.
What's funny, bro? What's funny? You right. Don't nobody care. Hold up. Make sure it's right. You right. You right. Nobody cares. We do. That's it. That's it. You know what I mean? Get that corn out the way. Man get killed in the hands of correctional officers, Caucasians. He said nobody cares.
An autopsy found Brooks died from asphyxia due to neck compression and blunt force injuries. The former officers have pleaded not guilty. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Yeah.
As for the
show them correctional officers scared. But they say they got to work 24 hours a day. They getting deployed. Can't go see their families. They scared. No. What happened was that what happened to Robert Brooks. Everybody mean mugging y'all. Everybody telling y'all you ain't handcuffing them. They gonna fight fair and that's it. Beat it. Make sure I have food on time. Make sure we go to conversate. Make sure I get my. They pointing them all in the face now. They scared. They scared, bro, when all they had to do was control. Because if you ever been incarcerated before, because I know a lot of these channels, they be talking, never been locked up, never been enough. You been incarcerated before in some of these facilities. Them prisons that's up in the mountain towns, bro, where people go hunting and skydiving and they get you up there, bro. And if they have a bad day with you, they crush you. They crush you. They beat you bad. They'll kill you in prison. The correctional officers will kill you. They'll kill you in them prisons that's far away. They beat you shift after shift. They be cousins and aunts and boyfriends and girl be all be related, and they take it out. You know what I mean? So I ain't with that. You know what I mean? So yeah, they like a gang. Most definitely, they like a gang. They a vicious gang. You get what I'm saying? They a vicious gang. They a vicious gang, and it's tough. I mean, and they scared now. So being as though that they scared, it's gonna be tough on them, man. They ain't gonna be able to do everything. New York prisons will forever be changed after this incident. So they're gonna have to be more respectful towards the convict inmate population. And they just gotta come in there and do their job. And if they come in there and do their job, they all right. They ain't gotta worry about nothing if they come in there and do their job. If they don't, they don't. But if they come in there and do their job, you know what I mean? But what else we got on here? But yeah, that's what's happening, man. The boys gonna get what they deserve. They should have been charged a couple days after they did that shit. And it said so. YNW Melly ex-girlfriend, big request. What was she said? I heard she was asking to get out the box. I don't think that girl gonna really testify against my. Plus, I be telling folks we need our legal aids to start actually working for the people. Yeah, you definitely need it. People should do their job.
His ex-girlfriend appeared in court asking to be taken off an ankle monitor. Broward County Sheriff's Office submitted a massive response asking for the entire lawsuit to be dismissed. Stick around for the last half of the video while I read BSO's response. Hit subscribe right now. Thank you guys. Let's go. All right, first look at Melly right here. Emergency hearing for his ex-girlfriend over that whole ankle monitor situation because she's on an ankle monitor now. So let's see how this goes. Melly also requested to be present in person during this hearing, so that's why he's there.
The reason that we're here today, this is an emergency motion to vacate, which is filed on behalf of Mariah Hamilton, who is a material witness in the case.
Quick reminder on why she's being called as a witness. Her own mom put her in this position because she talked to the police the next day, or the same night even of the murders, I don't even remember. I think it was the next day, and told the police that she overheard a phone call between Melly and his girlfriend Mariah at the time, within an hour or two of the murder, like within minutes of the murder, actually. And Melly was walking through the woods and telling her what just happened. We don't know if he confessed to her or anything, but we just know they had a phone call. But then Felicia, her mother, was a witness in the first trial and didn't give any clear answers whatsoever. She was a very difficult witness, and she basically regrets talking to the police the first day. So her mom put her in this position because they were like, wait, you had a phone call with the guy we're charging with murder right after he committed murder? Oh, and Mariah's been on the run pretty much, like avoiding the subpoena and wanted by the court to testify as a witness. So they finally got her and they put on her ankle monitor. She was released from custody like a week or two ago.
So, Mr. Griffiths, let me ask you, since you're the one that's here, the state position on the defense emergency motion to vacate, they want me to take the ankle monitor off.
No, Judge, they would be objecting based upon the fact that the writ was issued in the first place and the difficulties in securing her presence for trial.
Straightforward. They're saying if we take this ankle monitor off, she might just disappear again.
Okay, so listen, again, I'm certainly not foreclosed to reconsidering this at a later point in time. And for the record, I did read the motion, and there's a lot in here about 942.03. Mr. Barris's position is that that's not applicable to Ms. Hamilton, and he's probably right about that. That's why I released her from custody the first time that I saw her. However, I did look at everything in the electronic docket. I was not the trial judge back then handling this case, and I'm not making any judgments or finding any facts about it. But there does seem to be an awful lot of pleadings, emails, letters, pleadings, notices, that there were some issues going on about cooperation with witnesses. So there's an easy way to do this, there's a hard way to do it. It would appear the prior judge that handled this case came to the conclusion that police force the hard way to do these things. I don't think anyone that's not charged with a crime should be under any form of security anyway under normal conditions. However, this isn't a normal condition. The state's identified there's material witness. I do have 902.15. Again, this
sounds like he's going to deny this, and she's going to remain under an ankle monitor.
is only applicable when someone is facing life imprisonment or the death penalty. Mr. Devins is in fact facing the death penalty. All she, just like any other witness, has to do is come to court. Either side wants them to come to court to a deposition, to a motion, or to a hearing. And as soon as that responsibility is concluded, that will end the security that's been put in place, which I have chosen to be an ankle monitor as opposed to posting some form of monetary bond. So at this point, respectfully, I'm going to deny the emergency motion to vacate. It's going to stay right the way it is. And again, I'm not foreclosing either side filing whatever motion in the future. If you want to need time for an evidentiary hearing, I'm happy to do that. And again, I'm always ready, willing, and able to listen to any evidence, witnesses, or testimony that either side wants to present regarding the issue. But based only on what I've read in the electronic docket and what's been in the pleadings, so that's the only thing that's been presented to me. I'm just not comfortable doing anything else at this point. So that's what it is.
Your Honor, I don't understand where you're deriving your authority from. Can you explain that for the record?
Well,
Jesus, her lawyer's like, I don't understand. Can you please explain it? That's Mr. Barris right there, Christopher Barris, I believe his name is.
I mean, actually, I usually don't have to answer lawyers' questions, but this is security. The security is the ankle monitor. I mean, the alternative would be
for the channel. Please hit subscribe. I appreciate the support. Back to the video.
Take the ankle monitor off, put her back in jail, and set a monetary bond for her to post. Is that what you want me to do? I mean, that's what security means in the statute, just like any other bond statute. So that's where I'm getting the authority from, sir. 902.15. So I'll enter the appropriate written order. Again, Ms. Hamilton, same as when I met you before for the first time. If any side is to testify at a deposition, at a hearing, or a trial, whoever that may be, state or defense, all you gotta do is show up under the subpoena, and then as soon as the trial is over and the matter is resolved, we'll also resolve your current situation. So, Mr. Devins, all pending motions remain set April 1st at 1:45 p.m. His trial remains set September the 10th at 9 o'clock.
All pending motions for Melly's stuff will be April 1st, like you said. Important stuff with Melly's lawsuit against BSO. BSO's response to Melly's memorandum in support of his petition for writ of habeas corpus. January 17, 2025, status conference hearing. Litigants in court discussed numerous procedural bars. This court ordered the petitioner to file a supplemental response to address these numerous procedural issues. Court scheduled a final evidentiary hearing on March 13th on the merits of the habeas corpus petition. Petitioner filed their memorandum on the procedural issues. Petitioner's memorandum on these procedural issues offers no valid legal or factual basis as to why the petition for a writ of habeas corpus should not be dismissed, nor could he, as the law is clear on these issues. Strong claims. The issue of Melly failing to exhaust administrative remedies, but in doing so for a second time has both misstated the applicable law on requirement of exhaustion of state court remedies. Remember, Melly's team said that they exhausted all state remedies and they had to go to a federal court. This reply is basically saying that's cap. To dumb it down, just as petitioner believes himself to be exempt from BSO's jail rules and regulations and wishes this court to modify the legitimate security measures BSO has implemented, he believes himself to be exempt from clear legal precedent on these procedural hurdles, including the statutory requirement he exhaust his state court remedies prior to seeking 2241 before this court. Petitioner should not be treated any differently than any other inmate, be allowed to skirt by their clear legal barriers that prevent his action from proceeding. It is evident now, as it has been since his action was initiated, that a final evidentiary hearing is not necessary and the one scheduled for March 13, 2025 should be canceled and this action dismissed for petitioner to seek remedies in the Florida state court system if he so chooses, where BSO will be prepared to respond as needed. Jesus. So they're saying cancel everything. This shit needs to be dismissed. All right. Timeliness. Petitioner claims that he is not appealing a Florida court order or judgment and that his petition is timely because the constitutional violations are ongoing. Offers no persuasive legal authority as to why he should be otherwise exempt from the plain language in 224D1 that subjects habeas petition to a 1-year statute of limitations starting from the date from which facts supporting new claims could have been discovered through the exercise of due diligence. The fact that petitioner's counsel agreed that his video visitation and phone privileges were properly suspended would work against any argument for tolling, especially with respect to the challenges directed at the revocation of those privileges. Tolling basically means a lawsuit can be filed even after the statute of limitations has expired. BSO is basically saying now. Restrictions imposed on habeas petitions filed by pretrial detainees, including the statute of limitations, are the same as those filed by a convicted prisoner, despite petitioner's claims to the contrary. Holy shit, what? For real? Pretrial detainees are the same as convicted prisoner. That's kind of crazy, right? Failed to exhaust state court remedies again. Now claims he is not required to exhaust state court remedies because 2254, unlike 2241, contains an exhaustion of administrative remedies condition for inmates serving a sentence under the judgment of a state court. And petitioner is not in the custody to any final judgment of state court. Petitioner also states, but as is apparent, petitioner is not.
So you want to know anything about that wall? The way I choreographer that wall is Easy E, Biggie, Bob Marley, Tupac, Kobe Bryant up there, Malcolm X up there, Juice WRLD up there, Nipsey Hussle up there, Lazy Bone up there. It's just a lot of great black people that I like. Billie Holiday up there. You know what I'm saying? It's Billie Holiday up there. It's a bunch of people, man. Wall Street, yeah. Billie Holiday, Nina Simone, you know what I'm saying? The greats. You know what I mean? That's what it's
A state court convicted felon seeking to challenge his state court judgment and thus has not asked this court to disregard the requirements. Petitioner's contention that exhaustion of state court remedies is not required for pretrial detainees who raise constitutional issues in the 2241 petition. Wholly without merit. Available remedies. Petitioner has remedies in state court for all of the constitutional injuries he complains of concerning his close management style of housing, including the restrictions placed on his phones, video visitation, and in-person access to Raven Liberty, who, as discussed below, is under criminal investigation for witness tampering. Petitioner claims that this court should not defer to a state court judicial proceeding that is not available and whose eventual exercise of jurisdiction would moot this controversy by awaiting petitioner's conviction, and that he has done all he can to obtain relief in the state court, and that quest was unsuccessful. He also claims that the state court ruling was not appealable or reviewable as a matter of right. The trial court orders in criminal cases are not ripe for review until the entry of final judgment when he's sentenced, or convicted, I mean. This is false. BSO will not provide legal advice to petitioner or petitioner's numerous counsel. They're saying, hey, bro, your lawyers are dumb as shit. This is wrong. There are numerous avenues to raise his concerns in Florida courts. In Florida, petitioner's request for release from custody is concerned, which petitioner appears to be abandoning as request, as his court made it clear it was not an available remedy. A petitioner has not addressed this in his memorandum. Petitioner can file a petition challenging the no monetary bond order from his criminal case today if he so desired. As far as they challenge his conditions of confinement with respect to his close management style of housing, close management. Wait, who said close management? Was that Melly's lawyers? I think it was. Where he's placed in an entire housing pod by himself, and the lost video visitation and phone privileges is properly challengeable as a writ of habeas corpus under Florida law, citing Banks v. Jones. Likewise, a petition for a writ of mandamus is the proper avenue under the Florida law to force a government official to comply with statutorily mandated duties and non-discretionary obligations. Petitioner could also file an extraordinary writ of mandamus and argue BSO was not giving him access to counsel in violation or challenge security measures taken by BSO when it suspends his phone and video visitation privileges. Wait, why are they giving them advice? They actually are giving advice. Petitioner could also file another motion as pending criminal case if he wishes to readdress the issues of phone availability and video visitation and other conditions of confinement as he had in the past, and BSO will appear and address as needed. Why are they literally giving Melly Steve like, hey, bro, drop the federal lawsuit. You could have done this in state courts. His lawyers previously agreed that his phone and video visitation privileges were properly restricted due to petitioner repeatedly violating jail rules, which is why BSO finds it puzzling that Melly now finds this action without even first attempting to readdress the issue before the trial court presiding over the case. So I remember them.
So, once again, like I said, hey, yo, appreciate you too, bro. So make sure you like this video before you get out of here. But I got one more thing. So, the entire Alabama police department, nigga, got knocked off, bro. Everybody talking about that. The entire Alabama police department. I know that's going to pop up. Yo, the whole Alabama police department, yo. Whole Alabama police department, but we got to listen to this. But we got to listen to this. Alabama police department. Jesus. Yo, the Alabama police department been knocked off. You know what I mean? This is the joint. They say What's this article? Somebody said the entire Alabama PD was placed on leave after grand jury declares an open as criminal enterprise. Yeah, here we go. We gonna get busy. Here we go, y'all.
We have a breaking news update for you now in Coleman County over the Hansville Police Department.
And that update coming within the last couple of minutes. And News 19's Nikki Marker joins us live from Coleman County. So, Nikki, what's the update?
Greg, Lauren, in literally just the past few minutes, we saw a official with the Hansville City Hall come outside and post a paper sign on the outside of that door. Now, the sign is saying that after a productive meeting between Sheriff Matt Gentry with the Coleman County Sheriff's Office and with Mayor of Hansville, Jim Sawyer, they've decided that starting at 5 p.m. today, all of the calls in the Hansville police jurisdiction will be temporarily taken over by the Coleman County Sheriff's Office. Now, they also decided that next Thursday, February 27th at 5 p.m. at Hansville City Hall, they're going to have a public meeting where they will decide, they're going to address the current status of Hansville PD and also talk about what the future looks like. Again, that's a public meeting happening on February 27th at 5 p.m. And Sheriff Matt Gentry also said that calls that are made in the jurisdiction.
They took a whole police department down.
To be directly attached to the Coleman County Sheriff's Office line. We're going to continue to keep you guys updated on this story as it unfolds. For now, I'm reporting live in Hansville.
Let's get to the nitty gritty of this. Man, it's a couple minutes. We gonna have to play this.
Imagine for a city of just under 3,500 people, word travels fast. So what do residents in Hansville think about these arrests, and did they see it coming?
I want to hear this shit.
To increase your efficiency and improve.
Anybody from Alabama in the chat, bro? Let me hear you. Let me hear you, Bama.
Imagine for a city of just under 3,500 people, word travels fast. So what do residents in Hansville think about these arrests, and did they see it coming? WAFF 48's Nick Ballinger continues our team coverage.
There you go, Bruising Power.
Shocked, surprised, amazed. I heard all three all day from residents here in Hansville after 5 of the city's police officers were arrested. But I even heard a few expected, saw it coming, and bound to happen. For a city the size of Hansville in Coleman County, word typically travels fast. At least that's the case after the arrest of 5 Hansville police officers.
It's probably embarrassing for a lot of people thinking, hey, this is our town, this is our community.
Lifelong Hansville resident Josh McHugh heard the news from a friend.
Makes me a little bit more worried about getting pulled over.
One woman has known one of the officers, Jason Wilbanks, her whole life.
This can't be true. This is, I've known this kid for forever. He's always been a really good kid. I don't know if he just got mixed in with someone he shouldn't have been mixed in with.
But Eric Maldonado doesn't share that same shock. He works at a gas station where he sees Hansville police officers pull people over daily.
It's a constant. I mean, we laugh about it because it's every day. Like some of their cops would be like just some massive power tripping dudes. I mean, there's some good cops in there.
The grand jury found the entire Hansville Police Department should be abolished.
I mean, our sheriff's office patrols all these other small towns in the county of Coleman. I don't see why they couldn't do it down here.
With 5 officers arrested, McHugh says Hansville's only down to a couple officers left.
Half of the force quit. I don't know why. I guess I can kind of see why.
He says a few quit back in December of 2023 when the former mayor pleaded guilty to 15 misdemeanor counts of using his office for personal gain. 4 months later, the former police chief retired, leaving Jason Marlin as the chief in August of 2024.
I mean, he's been in and out of our store. Seemed like a good stand-up guy. A lot of the officers there as well seem like pretty stand-up people. But, everything comes to light at some point.
Some here in Hansville are still waiting for more information to come out regarding these arrests before they make any assumptions. Stick with WAFF 48 to bring you the latest. In Hansville, Nick Ballinger, 48 News, on your side.
Damn. I'm glad I never rolled through that goddamn town. I'm glad. That's what I tell you.
After an extensive investigation, a grand...
With Canva, it's so...
I never in my life seen a whole police force. They trying to abolish it. And that's a mostly Caucasian town. So they doing their own people dirty. Like, good cookity movie.
After an extensive investigation, a grand jury indicts 5 Hansville police officers and one of their wives. The charges range from tampering with evidence to failure to report ethics crime. ABC 3340's Megan Scarano joins us live now from Hansville. And Megan,
One of those arrested is Hansville's police chief.
That's right, Brenda. Jason Marlin is the chief of police here in Hansville. That's according to their website. He is now charged with 2 counts of failure to report a crime and tampering with evidence. The grand jury gave the city of Hansville 9 recommendations. One of those is to abolish the police department. And I asked the district attorney if that is now happening.
You would have to ask the city of Hansville about that. I have not heard of what their plans are in that respect.
So
The recommendations have been made to the public at large, and then whatever action is taken will be up to the mayor and the council.
A lawyer for the city of Hansville would not comment on if these officers are still employed by the city. He did say a move to abolish the police department would need to be done between the council and the mayor in a meeting. And he says, the mayor says in a statement, Jim Sawyer says the city will fully cooperate with this investigation. Live in Hansville, Megan Scarano, ABC 33.
Damn. That's heard the news on it.
The grand jury of Coleman County has recently returned multiple felony and misdemeanor
You want to know what we're talking about?
on 5 Hansville police officers
being arrested
and
in
1
Alabama.
spouse of an officer. As DA, I would like to thank several agencies and individuals for their assistance in this investigation. The Alabama State Bureau of Investigation, Special Agent Jamie King, who led this investigation. Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall and his staff. The Attorney General's office reviewed these charges before we took them to the grand jury, and General Marshall and I have remained in close contact throughout this process. The Alabama Ethics Commission and Special Agent Chris McKay, Coleman County Sheriff Matt Gentry and his staff for their assistance, as well as the Coleman Police Department, who provided assistance, and the Wallace State Police Force, who responded in this case. I want to go through the charges and the individuals at this time, and we're going to have something on the screen. The Cody Allen Kelso, 2 counts of computer tampering, solicitation to commit a controlled substance crime, use of office for personal gain, and tampering with physical evidence. Jason Scott Wilbanks, 2 counts of computer tampering, 2 counts use of office for personal gain, 2 counts solicitation to commit a controlled substance crime, and tampering with physical evidence. Jason Shane Marlin, 2 counts of failure to report an ethics crime and tampering with physical evidence. William Andrew Shelnut, tampering with physical evidence, 1 count. Eric Michael Kelso, 4 counts, unlawful distribution of a controlled substance, 2 counts, conspiracy to unlawfully distribute a controlled substance. His spouse, Donna Reed Kelso, 2 counts, unlawful distribution of a controlled substance, 2 counts, conspiracy to unlawfully distribute a controlled substance.
Busting that small
All
town
charges are felonies, with the exception of tampering with physical evidence, which is a Class A misdemeanor. The grand jury, and I'm going to speak about the grand jury and their work, but first I want to tell you the grand jury's findings and recommendations, which were unanimous and made public by the grand jury. I'm going to read these 9 points for you. Number 1, that any current or former officer of Hansville Police Department indicted be suspended from law enforcement by the Alabama Peace Officers Standards and Training Commission. Number 2, that the Hansville Police Department be immediately abolished. Number 3, that another law enforcement agency, whether local or state, be tasked with protecting the citizens of Hansville. Number 4, based upon the investigation by the State Bureau of Investigation, we, the grand jury, find that the Hansville Police Department is a particular and ongoing threat to public safety. Number 5, that there is a rampant culture of corruption in the Hanceville Police Department, which has recently operated as more of a criminal enterprise than a law enforcement agency. Number 6, that the Hanceville Police Department has abused public trust by its failure of oversight, lack of leadership, and negligent training and hiring. Number 7, that the Hanceville Police Department has failed to account for, preserve, and maintain evidence, and in doing so has failed crime victims and the public at large. This evidence is unusable. Number 8, this grand jury toured the Hanceville jail on February 12th, 2025. We, the grand jury, have zero confidence in the Hanceville Police Department's ability to maintain a jail or to meet basic health and safety needs of jail personnel or inmates. Number 9, that the death of former Hanceville dispatcher Chris Willingham is the direct result of Hanceville Police Department's negligence, lack of procedure, general incompetence, and disregard for human life. Signed by the foreman, February 14th, 2025. I want to thank this grand jury. Only the grand jury knows all of the facts in this case. The grand jury was 18 people from all walks of life in different backgrounds from all over Coleman County. They took an oath to diligently inquire indictable offenses without malice or fear and to the best of their ability. Before we started, the grand jury and I said a prayer together, and we asked that the Lord's wisdom and discernment guide every part of this process. They reviewed the evidence for days, and they weren't afraid to ask tough questions. This grand jury upheld their oaths on behalf of the citizens of Coleman County, and they were unanimous in their recommendations, and they were unanimous in all the indictments that I've listed. I want to talk about the evidence room, and we're going to have another slide for you. One of the most concerning things that we discovered in this process was that Hanceville Police Department's evidence room was not secure. Criminal evidence must be secured in order to have that evidence for prosecution and to ensure due process. This evidence room was anything but secure. This photo here is the outside wall to the evidence room, and you will see this hole in the evidence room. This picture was taken on August 23rd, 2024. You also notice a broomstick in the corner that is green with a white handle on it. And in the next couple slides, you will see what that broomstick was used for in this hole. And I'm not going to name the individual picture here. This is someone who works there. And you can see this individual has this stick in his hand and is pushing it in the door, in the hole, to jimmy open the door. And the grand jury watched a lot of videos. This is from security camera footage showing this evidence room was routinely accessed by individuals who were not authorized to do so, going in and out using this stick through the hole in the wall. And we have one more photo of that. This is from the same transaction here where this individual who had the stick is actually sticking his head and upper body into the hole, attempting to jimmy open the door, which was a quite common occurrence. That's our final slide for that. I want to say this for the citizens of Hanceville. The citizens of Hanceville deserve equal protection under the law. They deserve to have a safe community just like everyone else in this county. I have been in touch with Hanceville officials this week. Mayor Sawyer and the council have pledged their full cooperation throughout this process. This morning, Hanceville Municipal Judge Heath Maherg entered an order calling for an of the evidence room, and he is joining me in asking state officials to conduct that audit.
Shit, you heard, man. Alabama. It's called Coleman County News, Concert, Huntsville, Alabama. Whole police force has been dismantled for corruption. They were selling drugs, tampering with evidence. So anybody that been charged out there, lawyers and family, go ahead and put in them papers because all them charges gonna be dropped. They talking about closing down the whole police department down there. I don't know why them boys was doing that. World is getting corrupt. Like, whoa. So it was a police shooting. I'm gonna get in this one before we get out there. Hit that notification button, y'all. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment, open topics, the weekly report. This is everything that happened this week. Hold up, I got one quick. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button for me. Hit that like button. 63 people in the chat. Bring them likes up.
We have team coverage tonight with the very latest. We're going to go straight to Andrew Klein, live outside UPMC Memorial.
Jonathan, I'm actually right inside UPMC Memorial, waiting for John Shapiro to have a press conference in just a few minutes. I've been here since around 12:30. When I got here, there's a massive police presence outside. I was told those police are still here, even though their lights are off. They're still in the area. Now, we were told that the shooter was neutralized with those 4 victims taken to Wellspring, New York. That is the nearest hospital with the trauma unit. We're right now in West Manchester Township at UPMC Memorial Hospital. We've received a number of statements throughout the day, and now we're just waiting for the governor to get here as well to hold that press conference that he says he's going to hold soon.
Andrew Klein, we'll check back in with you when the governor begins to speak. Thank you very much. We did find a picture, in fact, of the police officer who lost his life today, Andrew Duarte. Here is a look at his picture on LinkedIn. The West York Bureau has actually released a statement within the past hour saying our West York Bureau family is suffering a painful loss today in response to a tragic mutual aid call earlier today in West Manchester Township at UPMC. And they go on to mention Andrew and his family. And so we want to now check in with another reporter. We have TJ Anthony live on.
So this is a UPMC York shooting.
Exactly are you right now?
Hey Jasmine, yeah, so right now I'm Wellspring York Hospital, where we do know that 4 victims are recovering right behind me at that hospital. Unfortunately, we do not know their condition, but we're about 15 minutes away from where that shooting happened at UPMC Memorial Hospital, where that active shooter opened fire. I mean, it's a completely different scene here. Andrew mentioned he was on the scene for hours. He saw a heavy police presence earlier. It's kind of calmed down there. He mentioned over here there's really no police presence. We have seen a couple police officers patrolling the area, but we do know that they are right now not allowing visitors inside that hospital. We did see a helicopter land not too long ago. Still working to confirm if that is related to that active shooting incident that took place. But then York Hospital,
the gunman and police got killed.
That call around 11 a.m. when that active shooting happened. That's when they knew it happened. And around 12 p.m. is when the first patient arrived to the hospital, and they have been treating them for hours now. I mean, this is still a very fluid situation. That's what a lot of the spokespeople have been telling us with the hospitals. But it just shows how this is a really community effort that's coming together right now. These are 2 very different companies. We have Wellspring we're dealing with and UPMC, 2 different companies, but they're still working together in order to get these patients back on track, hopefully get them healthy, and hopefully they can get them to a better state as well. We also know that UPMC Memorial Hospital, they are asking workers to stay home who are not scheduled to work. UPMC has also set up a hotline for patients seeking more information. That number is 717-849-5338. Again, that number is 717-849-5338. I mean, Jasmine, you mentioned we just learned that West York officer was killed during that active shooting incident that took place. Unfortunately, he didn't know that this would be his circumstances coming into work today. So, of course, a lot
Manchester
of people
Turnpike, West Manchester Turnpike.
feel that right now. But we
Dang.
continue to say,
dang. He shoots the doctor and the nurse. Hell hostage shot doctor and nurse. Shoo. Just a deadly shooting.
The deadly shooting.
Here it
at a
is.
Hospital in York.
Dang.
When you car more, you do quick quality oil change.
Dang. I'm in York, PA almost 3-4 times a week.
In with the deadly shooting at a hospital in York, Pennsylvania. That's west of Philadelphia. One police officer has been killed. Authorities say a suspect carrying a handgun and zip ties entered the intensive care unit at UPMC Memorial Hospital, taking several staff members hostage. They say he opened fire, striking a doctor, a nurse, and a custodian. The suspect was holding one staff member at gunpoint and had another worker in zip ties when police say he was shot and killed by officers. West York Borough Police Officer Andrew Duarte died on the scene. 2 other officers were also shot but are in stable condition. Tonight, authorities have not shared a motive for the shooting. ABC's Christian Cordero leading us off from the scene in York, Pennsylvania.
Tonight, one police officer is dead and several others are injured after a gunman stormed a local hospital in Pennsylvania.
We have 2 officers hit by gunfire.
According to officials, the gunman, Diogenes Archangel Ortiz, entered UPMC Hospital in York, Pennsylvania around 10:30 a.m., armed with a handgun and zip ties.
He went straight to the ICU, and in the ICU, this individual went and held hostage members of the UPMC staff.
Adding, Ortiz tied the hands of one hospital staff member behind her back as police responded to the scene.
The individual was holding at gunpoint a member of the UPMC staff and ordered the police to get back to behind the doors.
Authorities say Ortiz fired his gun, striking a doctor, nurse, and custodian. As police officers attempted to engage Ortiz, he entered the hallway holding the hostage at gunpoint. An intense firefight ensued, and Ortiz was struck and killed. 3 officers were also hit. Officer Andrew Duarte, a law enforcement veteran, was killed. The shooting sending shockwaves through this quiet community.
The act of extraordinary bravery and courage by the healthcare workers here, by the law enforcement professionals. I know that because of their work, lives were saved today here at UPMC Memorial.
When authorities say no patients were injured and they continue to receive care here at the hospital, investigators are still searching for a motive. Whit.
All right, Christian Cordero, thank you.
Listen, man, I thank y'all for tapping in, man. That's the weekly report, man. We try to cover everything that was, that was going on this week in and out of Baltimore. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's working, man. Shout out, rest in peace to everybody that lost their life, man. I'm sorry. Free all the people behind the G-Wall, man. Everybody take care of yourself. It's the end of February. Spring on the way around the corner. Make sure y'all tap in with me at 7 a.m. for the morning show. I don't know what's going to be the headline, but all these police shootings, government, hip-hop. Oh, man, it's a lot. No fuck shit, no fake shit, no foolishness. Anything you say can and will be used against you on the internet. Raw Dope Podcast vlog. We tapping in. Be on the lookout for my first interview of season 6, 2025. That's coming this week. Let's go.